The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
This is Scottie James, vocalist of Burden of the Sky, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today it's an honor and a privilege to have Mr. Scottie James. He is the vocalist of Burden of the Sky. Burden of the Sky has released the official music video for their newest single, The Puppeteer, directed by Scottie James himself and Jason Williams, with assistance from Savannah Bowles. The Puppeteer is the second single off their upcoming sophomore release due out in 2019. And we're going to be talking to him about all this good stuff. So, Scottie, man, welcome to the show and welcome to Burden of the Sky, dude.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you having me.
Not a problem whatsoever. Let's jump right into this a little bit now. How's it been working with Tag Publicity so far? Those guys are pretty awesome. I do a lot of interviews for them.
Yeah, we're pretty new to working with them, but so far it's been really great. They've been really communicative with us. They've been talking a lot, kind of helping us kind of find the ropes, because we're still pretty new into the music business. So they've been really helpful to us and answering all our questions and getting in touch with our manager and kind of showing us the right way to do things. So we're really appreciative mostly.
I want to jump right into this, too, before I forget, because normally I forget about something on the show that I forget to ask about. So you guys have a little tour run coming up with November 30th, which is tomorrow, with Red Sun Rising at the Canopy Club in Urbana, Illinois. December 2nd with Nothing More at the Sylvie, Madison, Wisconsin. December 7th, which is a sold-out show with Pop Evil at the Stout Ale House. And December 8th, you guys are headlining your own show, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So, man, let's talk about these tours that's coming up and what's excited you the most for this.
Absolutely, probably Nothing More, because they've been one of my favorite bands, man, for a long time. And Jason, our manager, told us that we were kind of in the running for the show. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. We're probably not going to get it, but whatever. You know, it's cool just to even know that we're like in the running.
Sure.
And then he called somebody. He's like, hey, I got that Nothing More show. I was like, whoa, what? You know, I was freaking out. So that's a big bucket list one for me. I really look up to those guys, especially their singer Johnny, because you know, his vocal style is pretty similar to what I do, and I kind of look up to him a lot. And they're just for a modern band, I don't know, I think they're really, really talented, and their writing style is really great, and their lyricism and everything. I'm just a big fan of that. So that is super cool that we get to be there. And plus, it's at the Sylvie, you know. It's a great venue. It's a huge venue, so it's going to be a really fun time for us, and as well as a learning experience. And also with Pop Evil coming up, probably my first sold-out show that I've ever played, I think, ever. You know, I played a lot of shows that played in front of 2 people and thousands of people, but this will be the first one I can say that played that's sold out. So a lot of big things coming up at the end of 2018. I'm excited.
And there's a lot of these bands like that, man, that put on a great, great show. You get your money's worth when you buy a ticket to see, like, Papa Roach especially, and you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
And you get your money's worth, too, when you go to see Pop Evil live as well.
Yeah, we've played with them a couple times before, and every time they're super nice guys, and Gail, the drummer's a girl, but yeah, they're great people. They put on a great show, and their fans are always super cool too. That's one of the best parts of playing with bands like that, because when their fans are just really cool people, it just makes everything so much more fun, because whenever we play with them, you know, their fans will come up to us and shake our hands and say, hey, I like your music, how you doing? And we'll get a chance to meet them, and we'll make new friends, and we get to mingle with a lot of people we don't normally get to meet. So it's a really cool experience.
So winning over the fans is pretty much easy when you play with Pop Evil or bands like that associated like you guys are.
Yeah, we share a common interest, and we listen to the same bands they listen to, and we write music similar to that. So it's easy to have a good time with everybody there because everyone's there for the same reason.
Let's dive into this new album that you guys are getting ready to come out with in 2019. What's impressed or excited you the most about working on the new album? And what's caught your eye about it the most, if anything? Because this is your first full length, if I'm not mistaken, with Burden of the Sky, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I'm super excited to finally get the chance to write with these guys. I've known the guys in Burden for a long time. Josh Apple, the guitar player, started Burden probably 5-6 years back, and just talking to him when he was starting it, I remember it sounded like a really cool project. And he asked me, originally to be the singer for it, and I had to turn him down because I was with another band at the time. And we just kind of kept in touch, and I watched it kind of grow and develop, and I was a fan of them, and we all still hung out. And then I got the chance. He called me up, said, "Hey, we got an opening. Do you want to come in now?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it, man." So here I am, now writing with everybody, and we were a little worried at first because it's weird coming into that situation. You don't know if your writing styles are going to blend well or if everything's going to work out. But Sirens, our first single that we released, was actually the first song that we wrote together, and it just it came together quick. It was almost weird how quick it came together. They threw the music at me, and I threw the vocals on it, and they're like, "Yep, this will work." So it's been going great so far. We have right now, I think we're sitting at about 7 or 8 songs that are pretty much well finished, and every single one of them we're really excited about. And we have 5 or 6 more kind of on the back burner getting built. So it's really moving along. We haven't gotten stuck hardly at all, because Brad, Josh, and myself are the primary writers, which is nice to have, so many writers in a band like that, because if I'm having some writer's block, or if Josh is, the other guy's going to pick us up. So it's almost just like a constant rotation of the creation of music, and then we all just kind of get in and fill up our own spots. So I've been loving it. It's a great experience.
What have you brought to this band that may have been missing, possibly, Scottie, if anything, man? And no disrespect to the previous singer, but what have you brought that kind of gave you that extra possibly? Yeah,
no disrespect at all. Brian was a friend of everyone's, and we all got along well, and he did a great job on that first album. But if I had to say for what I bring, I have I'd say my voice is a little bit different than a lot of singers. Is my range. I've quite a big range, so I can kind of variate where I'm going to be on the song. So sometimes I'll be up really high, and sometimes I'll be really low, and other times I'm screaming. So I think what I'm bringing to this band is just a little bit more variety. I don't like to do the same thing very much. I like to kind of express myself in different ways. So I think what I can bring is a little bit more emotion and just change in the band, and just kind of inject some new ideas in there that might perk some ears for some new listeners and give our older listeners something kind of cool to listen. That's cool to listen to.
Are there any songs off this new album standing out more to you than any on as of right now? Possibly, if you could talk about it, because I know 2019 is just basically just a stone's throw from us right now.
Actually, yes, we have Sirens and Puppeteer have been great for us so far, but they were the first couple songs we wrote, so we were just trying to kind of get our feet wet with those ones, and they turned out really well, and we love them. But this next new batch of songs that we have coming out that we're going to go record here in January, I think it is. Actually, at the Red Sun Rising show in Champaign, we're going to play a new one called The Catalyst, and that song we are pumped about. It's hitting hard, it's good, it's groovy, I'm excited. I can't wait to play it in front of an audience, just to kind of see the reaction of what it gets. So yeah, The Catalyst is probably our favorite one so far.
Did you guys work again with Nashville producer engineer Colt Caparone of Dark River Studios? Okay, how's working with him for you, possibly? Because I know this is your first time working with him.
Yeah, yes, I've known him in the past too. He was originally from the Peoria area, so he was kind of in our music scene. So I knew of him before I worked with him, and always heard great things about him, but I never had the first-hand experience of working with Colt. And it was a little intimidating at first because, he's grown quite a bit, and he's, a well-known producer in Nashville now. So I was like, oh, man, I've never really worked with like an actual producer before. I hope I can, I hope I can bring enough to the table. But no, he was great. I went in there and laid down a few tracks, and he was like, "Yeah, that'll do." I was like, "All right, I'll take that." As long as I'm not in there like tracking stuff, a million times, and him screaming at my face telling me to do better. That's what I was kind of expecting. But no, he's a sweet guy. He's a lot of fun to work with. He offers a lot of great advice, and I learned a lot from him too, because he works with just tons of artists of all different genres. So it's I always keep an open ear when I'm talking to him, because he knows his stuff.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Did he push you hard, or did he just let you go on your way and then he stepped in when he needed to, or how did he work out with you?
Yeah, he takes a back seat the first time around just to kind of hear what I'm going for, but he'll definitely tell me if there's something that he doesn't like, or if there's something that he believes that can be better, or if I can do better. There wasn't too many times where we fought about input. There's a couple things I might have disagreed upon, but then we kind of came to a conclusion that we both kind of felt like, okay, yeah, this makes it better. But I kind of liked it. I don't want a producer who's just going to sit there and be like, yeah, great job. All right, I want someone who's going to listen to the song and tell me if there's something that could be better, or tell me like, hey, this sounds okay, but this could be better, so I can go back and write. It's nice having kind of the editor there before a song gets released, so I don't hear a song and like, oh man, I wish I would have changed this, or I wish I would have put this here. It's really nice that he kind of slows me down and gives me a great critique, so I can really get the best out of the song.
What do you hope the fans take away from this album, or the message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just any of Burden of the Sky's music?
First and foremost, I always want to be able to convey emotion through songs. 'Cause when I listen to music, I listen really closely to lyrics, and just kind of, I want to be able to feel that music. I want to feel what the musicians are going through. So that's kind of always the broad thing that I want our listeners to. I want them to feel something when they listen to us sing, because we have that kind of a connection with them, between the music and us and them. And secondly, a lot of these songs, especially lyrically, I've noticed we're starting to pick up steam a lot, and it's getting to the point, where we're starting to have to change our lives to accommodate the band, and it's been really difficult for a lot of us, because most of us have families and wives and kids and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and a lot of fear that you don't know what's going to happen when this industry isn't very forgiving. So a lot of lyrics in there right now are about kind of following your heart and following your dreams, and not being afraid. Even though you may not know how it's going to work out, you're still going to at least give it a shot. So I hope some people out there that are kind of might be going through questioning what they want to do with their life, or maybe they have some kind of hobby that they want to pursue, they're afraid or don't think they're good enough to do it, and which is kind of what that's how I started out. I never considered myself very good. I just kind of kept at it and kept trying to get better, and here I am still kind of doing the same thing, just trying to get better every day and write and just do what I can. So I hope they hear that and kind of think to themselves, hey, if that guy can do it, I can do it, and get out there and do whatever they want to do.
How much growth musically have you seen this band and yourself go through since joining up to the release of this album, or has it just been more of a personal growth for each of you guys involved with this? I'm
sure there's personal growth between everyone individually, but man, it's really hard to explain. But for some reason, when we all got together, and I've been in other bands before, and we all had chemistry. Everyone really got along, and we were all friends. But there's something that's there that wasn't there before, and I can't really explain it. It's more of just kind of a feeling. Even when we listen to these songs, there's just something that's a little bit different, and that's kind of it kind of gives me a lot of hope, because I feel that I'm there's something here that wasn't there before, and this has really given us a lot of momentum and a lot of strength, really, between all of us together. We really feel like this is where we're supposed to be, and this is where it's meant to be. So I think we're all kind of growing together and growing into what Bird of the Sky was meant to be.
Kind of like catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's really hard to put into words. I didn't know what the feeling was until I actually felt it. And now that I felt it, I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Do you do anything differently, Scottie, during the writing and recording process to help keep your mind fresh and open to not let the music get stale and maybe introduce or add new stuff to your music?
Oh, yeah. Usually the guys yell at me like, Scottie, like, this is ridiculous. We can't do this. Like, I'm just throwing ideas down. I'm just trying to have fun. So Josh is really good at that. He's the one to come in like, yeah, that's cool, but let's try something else. So my approach to writing is I'm just kind of like almost like a machine gun. I write all the time, and if some of it sucks, a lot of it sucks, and then I'll throw it at the guy like, here's this, try this, or here's a vocal line, or here's a guitar riff. I'll just keep throwing it at him until kind of something sticks, and then we'll build off of that. So I think we all do a good job of hearing what kind of might be getting stale. I mean, like I said, with 3 writers, it's kind of hard to get stale, because if someone's getting stuck in a rut, we'll tell them to hold off for a little bit, and the other 2 will pick up and write something different. Or if we've been like doing some of the similar riffs, another guy will be off doing something else. So it's a really good atmosphere that we have to kind of keep producing new and creative music between the 3 of us.
What can fans expect at a show from Burden of the Sky who have not got to see you guys live as of yet?
I think the most common thing people always tell us, it's easy to tell that when we're up there, we're having a damn good time. We're all always jumping around, messing with each other's pedals or pushing each other. I'm usually over on the side spanking Josh while he's in the middle of like the lead part or something, trying to mess him up. And we're not trying to fake anything up there. We love making music, and we love playing in front of people. And I think people can really feel that when we're on stage, because we don't care if we look like idiots. We just love getting up there, just going nuts and throwing down everything we got and giving just everything to the fans. And I think they appreciate that. So if someone has never heard of us before, I just say that they're going to have fun. That's what we always say. We're going to have a good time, and you're going to have a good time with it.
We're living in the digital era of recording albums plus social media now. Coming from a DIY band like yourselves, do you like the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and plus social media to reach out to more folks who may not got to hear of you guys as of yet? Do you like this now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of our fan base is honestly online through Instagram and Spotify, especially with where we live. We're out in the middle of, most of us are out in the middle of nowhere in Illinois. So without, the internet or computers or anything, we have a pretty hard time of getting our music out there. And because of Instagram and Spotify and YouTube and everything that's out there, we've reached fans across the world, and it's incredible. We get messages from people just from countries we've never even been to, or half of them we haven't even heard of. They're messaging us saying like, "Hey, man, this song is awesome. I really like you guys. When are you going to come out here?" We're like, "Believe us, the second we can afford to come out and play for you guys, we're coming." So yeah, we're really thankful and lucky to be in this age where it's so easy to get music out there. We do everything we can to use every tool that we have.
So speaking of getting emails and things like that from different locations, is there a country that stands out for you that surprises and shocks you guys? You actually get support, or they've even heard your music at?
Yeah, we go through our numbers quite a bit. Well, Jason, our manager does, and he lets us know. And for some reason, Brazil loves us.
Wow, that's crazy.
We're like, Brazil, that's awesome. We would love to go to Brazil. So if there's any Brazil listeners out there, hopefully we're coming for you soon. So keep listening.
And that's crazy, man. I mean, you think about Brazil, you think about like heavy music from that area, like Soulfly and bands like that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, I was curious because I saw that we were so popular in Brazil, so I just did a kind of like a search on YouTube for like live shows in Brazil and stuff like that. And their fans are nuts. I loved it. I think I saw it as a Slipknot show there, and they were just going bananas. And it just made me excited to see that, because if they're that crazy, like they know their music, they love music. So if they're digging us, we're doing something right. And it just makes me excited to maybe someday get the chance for us to go down that way and just have a blast with them and watch them go crazy. So, yeah, that's kind of a personal goal of mine, just to get down to Brazil and honestly anywhere across the pond and just play some music for different people and just see their reactions and how they take in our music.
And think about this, folks. When you got third world countries like that, countries overseas listening to our music like this, you got to remember this: a lot of those countries, that's all they can do is listen to music, and it's cool that you see their reaction, and just for them to get away for a couple hours for a show or something other, you see the appreciation that they give for all the bands that they get to see, because they're singing lyrics word for word, and it blows my mind to watch them play.
And it's not even their language, and they're still singing word for word. Like I noticed that too. It's incredible. But I mean, music, like you say that how music kind of helps them escape and get away from troubles in life, and that's that's a big reason why we do music. Is growing up, that's the same reason we got into music. Is it was kind of our home to come to. I know when I was growing up, I'd come home from school, had a rough day or something. I'd just bury myself in a guitar and just learn songs as much as I could, and it was like the only way you could really, the way I could is express myself. So to see that music that I'm creating and that my bandmates are creating that are reaching people and making them feel that it's honestly why I still do what I do. It's just, you can't get that feeling anywhere else, and it's just heartwarming and humbling, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah, especially when you wear music on your sleeve, and some folks don't understand it, but one day when it hits them and they get those goosebumps, they'll finally understand what we are talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
In your own opinion, what does Burden of the Sky bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now? I mean, I know nobody's reinventing the wheel, but what do you think that Burden of the Sky brings to the table, man?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are trying to reinvent the wheel right now. Everyone's just trying to kind of get their own piece out there, their own voice, their feelings out there in their certain way. And I think Burden does that too. It's like there's tons of rock bands out there that are awesome, but we have something that it's similar style, but we blend so many different kinds of music in our writing. We have a lot of digital aspects, and we have Mikey on the keyboard, so we have a little bit of piano, and we do softer stuff, we do heavier stuff, we do singing, we do screaming. So I feel like we take kind of everything that we love from all different kinds of genres and put it into one package and just make it just hit hard, And I think that kind of taking everything and bringing it into one kind of singularity is where we kind of shine.
Has there been any show or moment that stands out to you in prior bands or this band that made you think and realize and say, this has been worth every time and effort that I have put into this? Have you had that moment yet? I got
probably a couple answers to that question. Like, first of all, I honestly never thought I would have even gotten as far as I've gotten in music. When I started playing music, I was just a kid in his room strumming out to Linkin Park and Nirvana and Metallica and stuff. I just like doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. So just like, if I could go back and talk to my 10-year-old self and be like, hey, you're going to be playing with Nothing More. You don't even know who Nothing More is yet, but they're a cool, kick-ass band. You're going to be playing with them. I would have crapped myself. I wouldn't even know what's going on. So just to be able to get on the stage and play in front of people and have people actually invested and want to be there to listen to us just blows my mind. So, every show I'm thankful for. But I know it's kind of a lame answer, but
no,
for bands we played with, I would have to say it was pretty amazing playing with Stone Sour over in Peoria.
Oh man!
And we played with and Seven Dust too, because I know Josh and Brad grew up just diehard Seven Dust fans. And when I was learning to sing, way back in high school, I remember listening to Corey Taylor and just him and Chester Bennington as well, just listening to every single word and trying to mimic and trying to find out how does he do that? How does he scream like that? How does he sing like that? And I remember just playing them on repeat and just trying to get my voice to do what they do. And, to be on the same stage as him and we got a chance to talk to him, and I got to watch him from backstage. It was just, yeah, that was the time I was kind of looking around like, man, like if I don't get anywhere else, like this is like a great memory to have. This is something that I can take with me forever. And I'm sure I'm going to feel like that when at this Nothing More show and the Pop Evil show that's coming up too. It's just, I'm thankful that I get to do what I get to do. And we all work hard. And so there's a certain point that we deserve it, because we give everything for this, but at the same time, like as a musician, I think almost all musicians feel like they don't deserve what they get. So I'm thankful like every moment that I get, because this business is so fickle. Like any moment could be like your last, and you never know. So
yep.
I just always try to like be thankful for everything that I got, and just keep trying to keep going so I can get as much in as I can during my time.
My friend, I always say this: it doesn't matter if you have a sold-out room, a sold-out amphitheater. It doesn't matter as long as you reach just one person. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and people hear that, and like I tell people that, like, yeah, whatever. How about the big shows? Like they just want to like skip to all the big stuff. Like, but really, it is. It's just if you haven't like played a show, it's really hard to understand. But like people of any level, like they know that feeling of playing in front of people and just being on stage. It's amazing. It's incredible.
That's what I say about my show. I do this because of you guys. I do this for locals. I do this for the bands who don't get enough publicity, that don't get out there much. I like to be that little voice that says, okay, we've been on BODS Mayhem Hour. Go check out our interview. Here we go.
Yeah, and we're thankful for people like you, because it's hard to get noticed by anyone in this industry. So like to have people like you who are sharing interviews, anything like, to help us kind of reach out to more fan bases. We all got to work together, and we're appreciative for everyone who takes the time out of their busy schedules to, help bands and help each other out and just build a community for everyone to kind of strive together.
Now, getting back to Corey Taylor, I'd love to have him on my show. That is for sure.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. I hope I get to meet him again someday. He was great, and he was super cool, and it's just cool I get to say that, hey, I met that guy,
Did he give you any...
It's a cool story.
Did he give you any advice at all? Did he get to watch your set or anything?
I don't know if he watched her set. I'd like to pretend that he did, just so I can,
For sure.
kind of say that he did. But no, he just he got off stage, and he waited us, and he kind of gave us a nod and shook his hand. I told him, good job. I say, thanks, buddy. And he was just kind of off doing his thing, and talked to all the guys for a little bit, just kind of shot the shit. And nothing much, but just even if it was a couple words, it's crazy. Like you don't know what you're gonna say at that. Like, what do you say to him? What do you say to Corey Taylor? Like, hi.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I'm happy to be here. I don't want to be a creep. I'm trying not to be weird, but I love your music. That's basically how my conversation went.
Yeah, you want to say hello instead of hi.
Yeah, please, I hope my voice doesn't crack.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Scottie, my friend, this album comes out in 2019. Possibly summer, fall, early spring. Do you know time frame when this album will come out? Maybe. We
are shooting for around March, April. I don't know. Jason might be shooting himself in the foot right now for telling me, but I'm almost positive that's what we're shooting for. And how it looks right now, it's looking pretty good. Like I said, we got a good chunk of songs down. We've got dates to go back in the studio, so I'm hoping we can meet that deadline, because I know a lot of our fans are out there waiting, and we're kind of teasing them along with the song here and there. But I promise it's coming. We're doing our best to get it out there as quick as we can. We just, we're very particular about our music, so we want everything to be absolutely perfect before we put it out there. And I think our fans appreciate that. So plan for March. Stay tuned on all our social media. We keep everything updated. But that's what it's looking like right now. How can folks stay in touch with Burden of the Sky, buy some merchandise, tour dates, this new album, new singles? How can they do that, Scottie? Oh, nice and easy. We burdenofthesky.com. We got everything there. And then, of course, Instagram. Everything's just Burden of the Sky. We're pretty easy to find. Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of fun stuff. We're really responsive on there. We travel a lot for shows, obviously, so we're always on there kind of sharing stupid memes and making dumb jokes, and we really like talking to people. Like I said, we're just happy to be where we are. So if people are messaging us, we're almost always messaging back. We're like, hey, this guy's talking. Let's talk to him for a little while. So send us a message, talk to us, keep us busy on the bus for a little while.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Yep. This is Scottie James, vocalist of Burden of the Sky, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up. You only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please go check out our Facebook page. We have our podcast and YouTube link on our Facebook page. Of course, it's BODS Mayhem Hour. And please check out Burden of the Sky. Please check them out. Give them a chance. I know you'll dig them. Scottie, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate you having me.
That's when I take my